Hello, investors. It is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, May 30th, about 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we're still in an uptrend since those subsequent follow-through days. And if we take a look at the trend gauge over here, market leaders acting well. We have the green arrow there in grow mode. Short term, we're trading above the 21 EMA, and that power trend continues to stay alive. Medium term, above the 50-day moving average, and then long term, still above the 200-day moving average. That's starting to slope back up, which is what we want to see. So, what happened today? Well, definitely some volatility intraday today, but bulls closed the month strong despite numerous negative news headlines, and really over the past two two days, there's been some negative news flow, and bears have had the opportunity to take the market lower, but the bulls continue to step up. So to me, that is bullish. So here are the final numbers. 21 over 21 lists up 2.14%, 14 green, 7 red. Big 8 down 0.44%, RG8 down 0.19%, S&P equal weight flat, Q's down 0.16, equal weight down 0.06, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.09, mid caps down 0.41, Russell 2000 down 0.51, 60/40 stock and bond down 0.09, and flagship portfolio GROTECTION up 0.61%, and then TurboTaxion up 0.32% on the day. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation, and we'll start with chart the S&P 500. And again, this chart continues to look bullish. I might sound repetitive, but kind of just continue to tell you guys my same exact thoughts for these charts. And that basically is we had a big move up off the lows. We're kind of forming a new range here. This is looking like a really nice flag here, consolidating below this 6,000 level. So sooner or later, maybe the markets gets that breakout through 6,000. Take a look at the hourly chart. And again, I mean, this is just textbook, really nice look. You got the stochastic hooking up from oversold. Bears have had multiple chances to move this market lower, and the bulls keep stepping up. So again, this looks really good. And this weekly 3-week flag here above all the moving averages. To me, this looks like a very bullish chart. RSP, again, similar look as the S&P 500 flagging here above the 200 day. The Qs, again, big cup forming. Maybe it handles out, or it's just flagging for a break into all-time highs. Mag 7 has a nice looking flag here. Dow Jones trying to flag here under the 200 day. Mid caps trying to nice upside reverse off the 21. And if mid caps, small caps equate, if they start to get into gear, then I expect this market to get even more legs, as these are starting to tighten up here in these flags and look good for maybe playing some catch up to the S&P or the Nasdaq. Russell 2000, similar look here. Really like this flag here that we have forming on small caps. ARC, similar to small caps, flagging out. Leaders, strong day, upside reversal up 0.81% on the day. The VIX volatility continues to dampen, and that is despite having a couple negative headlines today. I'll talk about them in the tail of the tape. But again, that's what we want to see. I've said this numerous times, but strong leadership, strong groups, volatility dying down, indexes trending above the 21. I mean, that's the environment that we thrive in. Dollar staying below this 100 spot. Gold, again, is this going to break out and equity is going to pull back, or equity is going to continue higher and this is going to roll over again just in this flag pattern here? We'll see. GDX looks pretty good as well, flagging here. Silver, big range. Bitcoin pulling back to the 21 looks totally fine. And this is probably just, if you miss this whole run, this is offering you an opportunity down here. Bonds starting to come back up, TLT, and that coincides with yields coming down as well, which is good to see. So that is the inter-asset correlation. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Let's see. Let's see. mention those sentiment numbers yesterday, news-wise. So we had PCE today that came in good. Personal income increased a robust 0.8% month over month in April, following an upwardly revised 0.7% increase in March. And then personal spending rose 0.2% month over month as expected. Also got consumer sentiment. University of Michigan index increased to 52.2 from the preliminary readings of 50.8. The final reading for April was also 52.2. And the key takeaway from this report is that it ends 4 consecutive months of plunging decline in sentiment. Although consumers still have concerns about their current personal finances and the future, with inflation expectations weighing. So that was good data. And then we kind of started selling off when JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said he believes that a crack in the bond market will happen. Basically, what he likely means is seeing yields blow out to the upside, and the market didn't like that, dipped. But again, bulls stepped up, and that's all that matters. It's, all these big time CEOs throw out headlines, say what they think, and sometimes the market can just get an overreaction on that. Today's keys, S&P is above the 200 day, above that 5,800, 6,000 is the next level above. Q's above the 200 day, that's 500 spot, and then next resistance level is at 525. Kind of day three in this consolidation flag, 4 days above the 8, 26 days above the 21. And I'll reiterate, the market can stay, can go 80 to 100 days above the 21. Those are the best markets when you just ride that average higher. So, 26 days above seems like a lot, but from past studies, from history, it can go a lot longer. Sectors wise, utilities, healthcare, cybers, and then weakness, semiconductors, biotech, oil, uranium, slightly weak. GROTECTION today, no trades, 1.44 beta, 4.39% balance at risk. And then TurboTection just added on to Palantir, made that a full size position today, 1.6 beta, 4.37% open heat. Bottom line, bulls finished the month strong despite tariff headlines. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation, or sorry, it's charts of interest. So we'll talk about trades for TurboTection. Palantir, this was the only trade today. We added to this, and I mean, can't ask for much more. Closed the day up 7.7% on the day on huge volume, 82% above average volume. And to me, this is just five-star chart in the liquid leader TML of the market. We were talking about this clean downtrend line break on the 60-minute in yesterday's video. And we said if this kind of breaks out, this could get some legs, had the volume to go with it. But I do want to talk about is that look at this volatility today. Bought this around here today, and then obviously Jamie Dimon, that headline about the crack in the bond market, some other negative headlines about China not respecting the tariff negotiations, and quite a waterfall midday. But this held low of day and then started to rally up into the close. And today was month-end buying, so this got huge bids into the close and closed out high of the day, up 7.73% on the day. So, despite the volatility intraday, can't really ask for better action, better close, and see if this one can continue. 133.49 is that next level, and then it is blue skies after that. And you can see just that, Palantir has just been consistently has been the TML of the market. So we'll see if this can continue next week. All right, that was the only trade today. We'll take a look at the inter-asset, or sorry, the 21 over 21 list. First chart, Zscaler, super strong day, had an earnings gap, closed the day up 10% on 286% above average volume. And again, reiterating the strength in the cybersecurity sector. This is clearly the leader here. And this weekly, we talk about these big bases. This one's continuing higher. And if you're buying an earnings gap, this is exactly what you want to see. That opening range lows never getting taken out. Closing high of the day, had volume, had good earnings. So really good action there. HIMS, another standout. This is owned in both portfolios at Revere, and just monster day off the 21, up 8%. And this is exactly what you want to see your names doing. Got extended at the 65 level, pull back to the 21 is totally normal, and then just rocking off that and closing high of the day. So good action. Covered Palantir, CoreWeave, finding support at the 8 EMA. This one just continues to be super strong. And maybe this wasn't a blow off top. Maybe that's just was an ugly outside reversal. And maybe this just handles out here. Spotify, good action here, trying to break out. And this one was up 4.5% on decent volume, 25% above average volume. And you sometimes tend to see when there's tariff uncertainty, this one tends to perform because, tariffs aren't really going to affect Spotify. And that kind of showed that again today. So nice relative strength on this one today. And again, super big base, kind of lagging relative strength over the past couple of months. But if this breaks out and gets into a new gear, yeah, good action. Bros, a little bit of a wide and loose base, but coming up to the top of this base, 73.93 is the pivot. See if this one can break out, but this one looks good. Hood, again, undercut and reclaim of the 8 EMA. And, you know, sometimes you can say, a lot of these charts have these V moves up into left side resistance, like the 66.91. And if they reject, that's a red flag. But for now, they're just consolidating under these highs. Totally normal for a stock to consolidate after a strong move up. The trend is up. So if this one handles out, this one is another one that could be an add-on buy. Carvana continues new 52-week highs, really good strength there. APP, strong close on this one, undercut to reclaim the 8. This 400 spots, could be a breakout next week, but again, this chart's been really strong. Netflix, nice undercut and reclaim of the 8 as well. Chewy, new highs again today, super strong. Duolingo, oops, reversal, kind of undercut this base, touched the 21 and closed near the highs of the day, really good. And this one hadn't really given a pullback. You would have had to have it on your watch list going into today. But again, kind of finally took off some of those overextensions and really nice. This one continues to act great from this earnings gap. NRG flagging here at the highs after this earnings gap. GEV, strong reclaim of the 8. This one looks good. Toast forming a handle in this big cup base. Uber, trying to hold this $80 pivot level here, see if it can maybe come back through these 87 level highs. Boeing, inside day after that strong day yesterday. EQT, again, I talked about this yesterday, just like lacking relative strength, but really nice base. Bitcoin at the 21. Nvidia, just kind of getting supported at the 8 and see if this one can move higher next week. Tesla, so it was end of the month today, so you can see sometimes you see like big moves in the last 10 minutes as rebalancing comes in. And I showed you Palantir, just like so Palantir was one that clearly got some buying, and then Tesla was one that, kind of closed weekly. But again, it doesn't really matter. It just the way that I use this end of month stuff is just expect some volatility from your name at the close. But again, it doesn't really mean a whole lot, and this chart still looks fine. Just pulling back, maybe it needs to touch this 21 level, but again, this Tesla's shown a lot of relative strength lately and looks good. That is the 21 over 21 list. Let's take a look at some semiconductors. Avgo, this reports next week, and this is the leader in the semiconductor space. NVIDIA still looks good. Avgo looks the best. If we look at some other ones, ARM, this one, weak rejection of the 200-day A-Lab. This one looks all right, holding up the 21-day today. And that's just some other AI stocks. NBIS, this one's had a really strong move up off the lows. So maybe this one starts to kind of form a new range here, consolidating for a flag to move higher. But again, this one still looks good. And then, I showed ZS and like just look at some of these other cybers. RBRK, frozen rope to the upside. CrowdStrike, this one really nice base, kind of coming out of this base. This one reports earnings next week as well. And so yeah, so the leadership continues to be strong. Same themes that we've been talking about. Aerospace and defense, Rocket Lab. We own this in TurboTection, undercut and reclaim of the 8. aerospace and defense, you got cybersecurity, which I just mentioned. You have AI data center names. We can look at VRT. This one still looks good, a little volatility midweek, but this is forming a nice little flag here. Power generation names are crushing it, GV, Energy. Um, that's we continue to lean on the bull side, and we tell you guys why that is every night in the videos. And as long as that doesn't change, our thoughts will continue being that way and look for low risk entries on some of the leading stocks. But um, volatile week, there was a lot of news kind of coming in, but again, closing week, closing chart, the S&P 500 for the week looks quite constructive, and we'll have to see what next week brings. Let's see, and that is going to wrap it. If you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Email us Connor@revereasset.com. You can always reach out to me on X at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. So, hope you guys have an awesome relaxing weekend and see you guys next week.